Hello everyone, my name is Dalton and welcome to my channel. If you can't really tell, I do kind of have a little different setup today. I did actually just move. I got my first apartment. So I'm still in the process of getting everything figured out, like lighting and that sort of thing. It also might be a little echoey. So I apologize for all of that, but it's been a while since I posted a video and I just wanted to come here and do a quick little book haul. I've been pretty good the past couple months not buying too many books. However, where I did move, I've been to like 4 in the last like 3 days. And one of them I just found is actually like, I'm not sure that it's a used bookstore, but like the way they sell books is weird. So if you buy one book, you get it for 50% off like the original price. If you buy 2 books, you get 60% off. And if you buy 3 or more books, they're all 70% off. Needless to say, I went a little crazy and bought like 6 books the other day. But without further ado, let's get into the book haul. The first book that I picked up was at like a local bookshop. This was a couple months ago when I was visiting a friend up here. And that is A Little Devil in America. I don't know what this book is about. However, he is like an Ohio-based author, I believed. And this book is signed. That was the main reason I bought it. Plus, I also wanted to just support this little local bookstore because it was cute. But yeah, this book is signed. I remember reading the premise and I thought I would enjoy it, but I don't remember a whole lot of what it was about. I do believe that this actually starts with a Toni Morrison quote. Let me try to find it. Yes. So it does start with a Toni Morrison quote. Also, I think that was probably the main reason I bought it, honestly, because if you're good enough to have a Toni Morrison quote at the beginning of your book, I'll probably enjoy the novel. The second book I picked up was actually at Target, I think. I went there one night for something, I don't remember what. Walked around to the book section because how can I not go to the book section? And picked up After Francesco. Obviously, from the cover, this book is LGBT. I believe it follows a queer man after his husband passes away, and he deals with the trauma and grief of losing his person. So I want to read it at some point. I don't know when I'll actually read it. I picked it up quite a while ago and I still have not touched it yet. However, I have been out of my reading slump, but because I've been moving, I haven't really been reading a whole lot. So maybe beginning of next year, I might save it till like June just because it is Pride Month and just read like all queer or LGBT type books. So I might save it for June and read it then, but I am very excited to read this novel. And the next 2 books I bought on clearance at my local bookstore, and I've read one of them and I just never owned a copy. I think I borrowed it from the library, and the other one I'm not super interested in reading. I just bought it because it was on sale. And never say never. I didn't love the first book, but I might buy it, or I might actually end up reading the second book at some point. That is Call Me By Your Name and Find Me. Like I said, I have read Call Me By Your Name. I thought it was one of the most beautiful written books I've ever read. The most beautifully written books I've ever read. However, I did not love the story. I thought it was quite boring and not a lot happened. And I do like the movie. It's not my favorite movie of all time, but I did already know everything that happens. And I'll be honest, the book is not too different from the movie, that I was reading like new things. So it was just weird. Like I said, just pick this up because it is clearance. I don't know when I'll get to it, but hopefully I enjoy it. Then the next book that I picked up is a like 3-volume edition of One Piece. These are like the first 3 volumes of One Piece. One Piece is my favorite anime of all time. I'm completely caught up. 1,046 episodes or something crazy like that. I have read the first volume of this. I read it on my iPad a while ago, but I am super excited to get to the other 2 volumes, and I would eventually like to read all of the manga. So this was just like a random pickup. I saw it on clearance, so I just picked it up, and that is A Desolation Called Peace. This is the second book in this series. I don't have the first yet, but because it was on sale, I just picked it up anyways, because I do think I will thoroughly enjoy it whenever I get to reading this series. But I will have to find the first book at some point. But I have the second for if I like it and want to continue. Again, this book was just on clearance, so I picked it up, and that is The Taking of Jake Livingston. This is like a low YA horror. I wanted to read this in the month of October. Unfortunately, I just ran out of time and that sort of stuff, so I never ended up getting to it. Hopefully soon. It shouldn't take me too long to get to or get through it. So maybe one day soon I'll just sit down and read this in a day or something. The next book I picked up is The World We Make by N.K. Jemisin. This came out in November, I believe at the beginning of the month, and I bought it and pre-ordered it so I can read it as soon as it came out. I have read this novel. I did love it. I didn't love it as much as I loved the first novel, but it was a good finale, I guess. I do wish some things were a little bit more fleshed out. I ended up giving it like a 4 out of 5 stars, but I did love this book. I will buy anything N.K. Jemisin ever comes out with again. So the next book I picked up is huge, and that is The Books of Jacob. I only bought this because it won the Nobel Prize for Literature. I know nothing about it other than it's vaguely religious, which I don't know if I'll love, but it's huge. It's like 900 something pages. The pages go backwards for some reason. I don't know why, but I could not buy this book because I have a problem and I want to read it, because if it won the Nobel Prize for Literature, I think I'll love it. So, and then the next couple books I got from the store that does like buy 3 get 70% off. And the first book is The Jasmine Throne. I have actually started this novel twice, I believe. I got it from the library once, and then I started listening to the audiobook of this recently. So far, I really enjoyed it. I'm only like an hour and 30 minutes or something like that into the audiobook, but I will actually like probably physically read it now that I have a copy. But yeah, thoroughly enjoying it so far. I'm shocked that I was able to find a copy of it for like dirt cheap, because I literally only spent like $8 on it. So that's a win. The next book I picked up is The Unbroken. I have no clue what this is about other than I've seen it on BookTube, and it's like an Orbit published novel. It's fantasy of some sort. Couldn't tell you anything about it other than it was cheap and I wanted it, so I bought it. And then the next book that I picked up was The Light of All That Falls. I have the first book in this series, The Shadow of What Was Lost. This one was at that bookstore. It was cheap as heck. I got it for like $5 or $6, something like that, so I could not buy it. They unfortunately didn't have the second one, but I can eventually get that somewhere, so I'm not too worried about it. But I have the first and third now. Also, this book is huge. Then the last books that I bought were the entire First Law trilogy. So they had this like whole trilogy box set thing at the bookstore that does buy 3 get 70% off. So I bought all 3 of these books, and after 70% off, they were like $12 for this, $13 for this, something like that. I do actually have the first book already, but I figured there's no way I'm going to be able to find the other 2 books for as cheap as I could just get the whole trilogy. So I'll probably just end up donating this or giving it to a friend or something and just keeping the box set instead. But this was such a good find. But yes, those are all the books that I found throughout like the last 3 months. That is my like end of the year book haul. I did pretty good by not buying a whole lot of books this last like quarter. So I saved a little bit of money there. But finding that bookstore that does like buy 3 books, get 70% off, that's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a big problem because I limited myself to like those 4 books, well, those 3 books and then the box set. But honestly, there were like 4 other books that I wanted to buy. And I just didn't need to spend $100 on books today. I didn't need to do that, so I didn't. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out. Bye.